Hello, I just want to take the time to introduce myself to those who don't know me. My name is Chika-Mbonu. I'm a certified counselor with a particular interest in couples counseling. I'm a cognitive behavioral therapist, and I also have over 30 years experience in marital and premarital counseling in a Christian church setting. I'm particular about marriage because I believe that marriage really matters and that we all have to hone our skills, intentionally acquire skills, and then practice them till they come naturally. And then, hone them in the area of marriage. Marriage does require work. It doesn't work unless you work it. So I want to take this time to introduce some of my books to you, 7 of them. An 8th one is in the works, and they're all about the male-female romantic relationship dynamic. It's important that we talk about these because these are the resources that will help people be able to stay in their marriages and to thrive, and to enable singles make the best possible choice, someone who will suit them, suit their temperament, suit their destiny when choosing a life partner. So I'm going to introduce you to my books, and I'll start with the first book I wrote, and that was this one, How to Get Your Wife to Swing from the Chandelier in a Red Negligee. I like to say that it's a book that deals with the mixed communication of the senses. Men and women communicate very differently, and this book talks about that. It gives men an insight into the mind and the heart of their woman. And for us women, it gives us a voice to articulate exactly what it is we want from our men. How to Get Your Wife to Swing from the Chandelier in a Red Negligee. Then the next book I wrote was a book about infidelity. Infidelity is rampant today. I mean, the statistics for unfaithfulness in marriage are off the charts, and this is both for men and for women. This book was titled 49 Ways to Get Rid of the Other Woman Without Getting Caught. And it's a book, it's confrontational, it's gladiatorial, it's controversial, and it talks about what a woman can do if she finds herself in a situation where there's a third person in her marriage. It's a book that is heartfelt. It has a story from the other woman. It has a letter to a man. And it's a good book to get if you're going through this situation, or if you never ever want to. 49 Ways to Get Rid of the Other Woman Without Getting Caught. And funnily enough, this is my bestseller till date. The next book I wrote was a limited edition coffee table book, Before, When and After. It's a beautiful book. I only did 250 copies, and I think I just have 30 left. It's gold rimmed. It has it's illustrated inside, and it has sayings, thoughts, conversation starters about marriage, how to be in it, how to stay in it, the conflicts that can arise in it. It's a lovely coffee table book and a real conversation starter. This book, I'm always told that my titles are so innovative and different, I guess, because this book was titled, or is titled, Where Did You Put Your Organ? And yes, it is that organ. It talks about the devastating effects when the man of the house gets himself involved in things that he's not supposed to get himself involved in extramarital affairs, the devastating effects that this has on his family, on himself, on his wife, on his children, and society at large. Where did you put your organ? Where a man puts his organ can have devastating effects if he doesn't put it in the right place, not to get graphic. Where did you put your organ? And as I said, yes, it is that organ. I say that this is a housekeeping book for men and for the women who love them. Then this one, different. It's a book of poems, Chronicles of Joy Through Pain. And it follows a woman as she journeys from pain to joy and purpose. How she discovers her passion, her purpose through pain. Pain births purpose if you let it. And so it takes you all the way from her shattering, the shattered nature, the way her heart is broken into pieces, and follows her all the way through coming through and then turning her passion, her pain into passion, and then into purpose. It's a collection of poems. They're raw, they're heartfelt, they're real, they're relatable. Chronicles of joy through pain. Then I tried my hand at fiction, but still about the male-female romantic relationship dynamic. And it's a book, 12 and 2 More. And it's a collection of short stories, still about marriage and relationships, but makes really interesting reading. People ask me, is it a work of fiction? I'll say it's fiction, but there's a lot of facts in it too. From all the people I've had the privilege of counseling, from experiences I have had. It's a really interesting book to have, to read, or to give to somebody. 12 and 2 More, 14 short stories about love, lust, longing, and desire. 12 and 2 More. And then my latest book, and boom, Bob's your uncle, and for real, Fanny's your aunt. And this is the one that I just came out, and it deals with it's 3 books in 1 book. It deals with what you need to do before you ever meet somebody you want to get married to, what you should do once you've met somebody you want to get married to, what you should do if you're in a marriage and somehow things have gone awry, have just fallen apart, and what you do post the marriage, what you do the first 5 years, what you should do the next 5 years that will set you up for success, so that your marriage is actually for a lifetime and not just a moment in time. So 7 books, each one of them a page turner. The truth of the matter is that when people are getting married, or when we want to give people things, we give them things that are nice, but might not stretch their minds per se, and that might not stretch their minds per se. But with books, you're giving something that is transgenerational, especially books about marriage. These are books which, when they're read and minds are expanded and people come to realize that marriages can work if you put in the work needed for the marriage to work, then these kind of gifts are transgenerational. I want to encourage everyone to get copies of my books. And any other marriage books you can get, I must be frank, but to get copies of my books and expand their mind concerning marriage and give them to couples who might not be able to afford them, or singles who might not be able to afford them. These books will give one the tools that they need to marry, and not just marry, but to thrive in marriage. The truth of the matter is, if you have a failed marriage or you're unhappy in your marriage, it can affect so many other things in your life. So I encourage you to get my books. I also encourage you to reach out to me for a counseling session, a safe environment where you can talk about the things on your mind with regard to marriage. You can get tools direct from me that can help you in your marriage. Marriage takes work to make it work. So I say, let's all get to work. I look forward to hearing from you. Reach out to me, and that's really what I have to say. 7 books about marriage. How to get your wife to swing from the chandelier in a red negligee. 49 ways to get rid of the other woman without getting caught. Before, when, and after. Chronicles of joy through pain. Where did you put your organ? 12 and 2 More. And my newest book, and boom, Bob's your uncle, and for real, Fanny's your aunt.